by the God, the creature. So now doctors, they are also God, you know. So today you are God and you have to make a human body. So whenever you have to construct your house, the contractor will come. What he demands? What is the demand? Number one, thousands and millions of bricks. Number two,
Cement.
so if you want to make a human body from head to toe, what is your requirement?
Bones.
Anybody else?
Cells.
Yes, millions and billions of human living cells. This is a human living cell with all the organelle, the nucleus, all the organelle, everything, cytoplasm, Golgi apparatus, reticulum, centrosome, everything is there. So that is the basic. And what is the cement? Intercellular cementing material. Biochemistry people will tell you all the chemicals involved in the human body, all the metabolism. So when you have to stick to bricks, what do you require? A wet cement. Similarly, we want to make the human body, we want the cementing material. And what is the name of cementing, intercellular cementing material? Anybody? Radiology of class 1 plus 2 is hyaluronidae. Hyaluronic acid. It is like the alpha. Feviquick. It sticks the two cells together. The bonding of the two human cells. Different ways. That is it. So now there is a heap of human body cells along with the one bottle of hyaluronic acid. Here you have to construct a human body. So human cell is flexible, soft, like the dough before you make the chapatis, make around. That is the human cell. You can change the morphology according to the function, the shape, the cytoplasm composition you can change. This is in your hand. So out of the human body, we'll go into the dissection hall and we will dissect the human body. You will see it. And we already know that the human body is made up of 5 layers. What is the outermost layer of the body? Skin. When you remove the peel of the skin, below the skin what we find? The second layer is superficial fascia. Superficial fascia. And what is the composition of the superficial fascia? Number 1, loose areolar tissue. Number 2, yellow color fat. Number 3, cutaneous, artery, veins, nerves, lymphatics, and lymph nodes. That is what is called the superficial fascia. Now you will go into detail into the general anatomy. Nowadays you are doing each and every part of it. Structure of the skin. So when you remove the skin of the human body, below which you find a fatty layer, yellow color fat, and which is embedded with the thin thread-like cutaneous. Cutaneous means cutis. Cutis means skin. Artery, veins, nerves, lymphatics, and lymph nodes. So that is the same composition from head to toe. Skin and below the skin is the superficial fascia. And you should remember all these 3 composition of superficial fascia. When you remove it in the dissection, in the D hall, what do you expect the third layer of the human body? Deep fascia. So deep fascia is tough, rough, protective in function, shock absorber. It protects the deeper structures of the human body. Anything which is present below the deep fascia, they are called the deep structures of the human body. Anything which is present above the deep fascia or between skin and deep fascia is called the superficial structures of the human body. When you remove the deep fascia from the human body, Deep fascia is absent in two regions. One is the face, and then is the anterior abdominal wall. Why it is absent, we will deal when we will do this. When you remove the deep fascia, the fourth layer of the human body comes the muscles. What are these muscles? You have learned voluntary, involuntary, striated, non-striated, smooth muscles, cardiac muscles. So these muscles are present below the deep fascia. And the last fifth layer of the human body is the bone, the skeleton, the framework of the human body. So that is what is the human body in the dissection. So in the dissection we will cut the skin with the scalpel and we will see the superficial fascia. We identify the cutaneous artery, veins and nerves because they are differently named in different regions. Then we will cut the deep fascia. First we see its attachments. Then, because the fascia forms the shape of the body. It forms the shape of the body. When we remove the deep fascia, we find the muscles attached to them. And the bones to which the skeletal muscles they are. Because skeletal or the bones they are made up of the joints. And human body is movable. Our joints they are synovial variety. Maybe slightly movable or freely movable. Different parts of the synovial regions are there. So that is how the 5 layers and 5 fingers remember what is the human body made up of from head to toe, the same arrangement. Now we want to make the human body right now here. So first, which tissue or the cell you want to form? Because we want to construct the human body. So what will form out of these 5 layers? Natural, the bone, the framework of the human body. We will first of all we will make the bones. And your raw material is only living human cell. Take some cells, pour into the cytoplasm, calcium, 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 phosphate, oxalate, carbonate, bicarbonate. Now this soft human cell now becomes hard. Why? Because of the composition of the cytoplasm. Now this same cell is now converted into a hard cell. Because we want to make the bone. So now this cell is called the hard cell because of the composition of the calcium and salts. So what it will call? It's a human living cell, but now it is called bone cell. Because its texture is hard, like the cricket ball. It becomes stiff. Because bone is the hardest tissue of the human body. So you have to make the hardest of these cells. Thousands of the cells are present here, which we have converted the simple, soft human cell into a bone cell. And what is the anatomically, what is the bone cell is called? Osteocyte. Osteocyte is the osteo. What is mother cell? Osteoblast. So we have constructed so many of the osteoblasts, osteocytes. Now take these osteocytes or the bone cells and construct any bone you want. Different type of the bones, regular bones, irregular bones, flat bones, horizontal bones, vertical bones. So like you have in the childhood, you have made so many toys with the clay. So that is the clay is available. You can shape any bone you want. You want to make the skull, make the flat bones. You want to make the sternum, make the flat. You want to make the pelvis, make the flat. So it is in your hand. You can construct each and every bone of the human body, small or large, because raw material is with you. So you have constructed the human body cell. You have constructed the skull, for example, and you have joined the skull with the different type of the bones. You have made the vertebra also, the backbone. Then you have made the ribs. There are also the examples of the flat bones. You can construct any bone, any shape you can give, because osteocytes are there. So, a skeleton you have made, it is standing here in the corner of your lecture theatre. It looks horrible, is it? So, we will cover it. What is the second material you want to construct? So, we will make the muscle. We take the same body, same human cell, but we will stretch it. And we will give it the shape rectangle. A little bit mathematics is also required in the medical school. I have joined only medical because I was very afraid of mathematics. I think 80-90% you are also like me. So mathematics is very horrible subject. So it is a rectangle shape. So we have stretched it. Now everything is elongated. Nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, everything. Shape is changed. Morphology, that is called morphology. And we pour into the cytoplasm of this rectangle human living cell actin and myosin. Now same cell is now converted into a myocyte of the muscle. Make thousands of these cells and join with hyaluronic acid. Stick them. So you have made the actin and myosin, fibrils, and because of this cell has got the power of contraction and that is the property of the muscle fiber. Whether it is a voluntary or involuntary or cardiac, the property is the contraction. So we have converted into a human cell into a muscle cell that is called the myocyte. Can construct certain soft part also tissue. Because our ear contains no bone. What is this? Cartilage. Best example of the cartilage is our ear. So take the same human cell, but add some very little amount of the calcium, less than the bone cell. Now it is also hard, but now it is not a bone cell, it is comparatively soft. So what is the soft called? The cartilage, and what is the name? Chondrocyte. So we have to make the ear also, so we want the chondrocytes also. We want to make the costal cartilages of the ribs, to make the thoracic cavity shock absorber. So we have to make the small pieces of the costal cartilages also. So that is how you have made the cartilage. So with the help of these skeletal muscles, they are called the striated muscle. Physiology people will go into the detail of the everything. We are only deal with the anatomy part. So we have made so many muscles. Now make the muscles of the human body. For example, the muscles of the backbone. That is the erector spinae muscle, for example. Make the intercostal muscles. External, internal, intimae. Everything we can. So we have covered the human skeleton with the help of the muscles, the biceps, the triceps, all muscles, you know, the deltoid and the muscles of the lower upper limb, abdomen, all we have made it. So whole of the human skeleton is now covered with the red colored brown muscles, because muscles, they are rich in blood. So we always make the brown color for the muscles. And another thing is very important in the anatomy, that you have to bring every day the colored pencil right in the lecture theatre. Whichever color I am using, you have to practice here right now, because we want this. You have to make all the nerves yellow color, muscles brown, artery red, and we won't spare if you make a wrong thing in the subject of the diagrams. Who is very good in the diagram will score very high in the anatomy. You have to practice it. And for practice, lecture theatre is the only place where you can make it quick. The speed is also improved in the writing in the exams, also right in the. So try to make the notes. And muscles, they are rich in blood supply, so we want the artery to supply them. And they are voluntary muscle or skeletal muscles. Why they are called voluntary? Because they are according to our wish. And how it is wished? Because of the brain and spinal cord. So we want a brain and spinal cord with 31 pairs of the spinal nerves and 12 pairs of the cranial nerves, which will go into the muscle. At least one fiber should touch every muscle so that it can contract and relax. So our immediately need is the construction of the brain and spinal cord. We will take this human cell and what we will do? We will stretch it. Stretch is memory and divide into branching. And we take a long process of this one. So from the same human cell we stretch it longitudinally and we cover it with the myelin sheaths, the Schwann cells. So now what we have made? Neuron, the basic functional unit of the nervous system. So from the same human cells we have made the neurons. So we have got the neurons, the nerve cells. They are the precious cells of the human body. Precious cells. And the embryology part, you will surprised to note that the cheapest tissue and the precious tissue all are made up of ectoderm. The epidermis is the cheapest tissue. It's shed off every day when you take baths. And the neurons, they are the notorious, they are the precious tissues. Why they are called precious? Because the number of the neurons at birth will not be same at death. They will decrease. Why? Because all human cells, they are different from the neurons, because neurons has lost the power of division or it doesn't go mitosis. What is the reason? Why it is so tough and stubborn? Why it doesn't go into mitosis? No. This is your +1 and +2. Now research has told that there is a centriole is very much present. It is very much present, centriole, in the neurons. But it has lost the power of formation of spindles. What this is doing in the neuron? It is making the, it is having function of protein synthesis. So now the new research has been told us that this is for the protein synthesis. Then what is the other reason? Why it is not dividing into mitosis? Because of the reason is something different. The reason is that the first step of the mitosis is the prophase. What happens in the prophase? So that is absent. Neuron is unable to convert the liquid chromatin material into the solid chromosome. So that is the reason. It has lost the power. So if there is no prophase, how can it lead to all other phases? So that is the reason anybody told you. So +1 and +2 people have teachers, they have told you of the centriole, but this is not. So that should be around. So you have made the neurons. Now you can shape it. You can make the brain. You can make the cerebrum. You can make the corpus callosum, the medulla. Because every part of the brain and spinal cord is made up of grey matter and white matter. If I say grey matter means I am talking about the cell body with nucleus, with organelle, with the dendrites. That is the grey matter. And if I am saying white matter means I am talking about the thousands and thousands of the fibers of axon or the nerve fiber. So we can make the tissue. So we have made the brain and spinal cord and we put it into the vertebral column, the spinal cord, and brain into the cranial cavity because we have already constructed. So this is how we have made. And we will divide these nerves. At least it should reach one fiber or one twig to each and every human skeletal muscles. So that is how it is now under the voluntary act. Now they are rich in the blood supply. So we want to make the arteries and the veins, because wherever the artery goes with the oxygenated blood, CO2 blood comes out via the veins. So you make the RBC, WBC and platelets. Very easy to form. Remove the nucleus. RBC. That is the red color cylinder in your kitchen. It is like the RBC. No gas, no food. No oxygen, no RBC, death. Because first line of the oxygen you have learned in 9th, 10th and 8th standard. What is the first line of oxygen chapter? Oxygen is a life gas. This is life. We have seen the corona case for the last 2 years. People were thirsty about oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. The simple oxygen, that is the life. The RBC, like the cylinders, kitchen. So you can make any cells. Make the blood. What are the blood? It is the 90% water. And what are the fishes into it? Fishes, they are the living human cells. RBC, WBC, platelet, they are the fish in the water flowing. That is what is the blood. Every cell is important. So you have constructed the blood. You have now you have to make the pipes. Artery and veins, they are like the pipes. From the same human cell, you make the pipes. Because you know the construction of the artery, tunica externa, tunica media, tunica intima or interna. So you have to make the 3 layers of the artery and the vein. Raw material is this. The outer layer, the fibrous, rough, tough, resilient, shock absorber is the fibrous tissue layer. So fibrous, they are the collagen or the elastic fibers. Take this human cell, stretch it as long as possible, and it becomes a linear. A thin. Everything is elongated. All the organelle, all the nucleus, everything is, but still it is a human living cell. No doubt it is like a thread, but still it is. So what you have made? Lot of collagen fibers. Pour some elastic material, now they are coiled, now they are called the elastic fibers. So we want both of them in the construction of the human body. So you have made from same human cell a lot of collagen fibers. Take to some OCM mill or JCT mill, these human collagen fibers, they will throw into the machine, and what will come out? A sheet, like a cloth in your. So same is. What is the basic unit of your cloth? A simple cotton thread. You have made it. So you can make a sheet. And make a spring roll. What is spring roll? Outer layer is rough and tough, brown color, baked, sometimes black, if it is over. What are the noodles in it? Smooth muscles, tunica media. Smooth muscles, they are involuntary muscles. Take the same cell, stretch it, make fusiform. What is this? Involuntary smooth muscles. You can make it. So you have made the outer layer. A sheet you have made now with the collagen fibers, the fibrous tissue. If I say fibrous tissue means it is made up of collagen fibers. And stuff it inside. Arrange like circular fashion. Smooth muscles, like the noodles in your spring roll. And what is the inside of the spring roll is hollow from inside, like this. What is inside covering? Some cheese. Soft thing. What is the soft thing? Mucous membrane. Mucosa, inner lining of the blood vessels, the artery and veins. With the same cells, you make the chapati. What is one chapati? It is a living human cells, but it is flat. It is like the onion skin. That is called squamous epithelium. Now this cell is called squamous cell because it is like a thin sheet-like, almost transparent like the onion skin. So you have made this so many of the chapatis. That is what is called squamous cells. Have you gone to langar so many times? So what the ladies they make? Chapatis, 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 and they throw like this. You see? Now two chapatis are there. If they are overlapping, now you press it. All where they are overlapping. Whole of this table is covered with the all chapatis, round, 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 and they are overlapping somewhere. You press them. Now you can lift it. This is whole is this thin sheet. A living human cell sheet is in your hand. You can cut it. Make anything. Make inside, cover it. So you have made the lungs and small and medium sized arteries and the veins. You have made the aorta, the largest artery of the human body. So you can shape to any size of the pipes. So you can also make the pipes from the same human cells. So that is the way. And because the smooth muscle, they have the power of vasoconstriction and because they are supplied by autonomic nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Because smooth muscle, they are only able to contract only when they are attached to some sympathetic and parasympathetic. The skeletal muscle, they are attached with the voluntary. No, they are involuntary. For the involuntary smooth muscle, there is a different system that is called the autonomic nervous system. For the skeletal muscles or voluntary muscles, there is a separate system that is called the central nervous system. So two systems are in the human body. Yeah. We go into the detail later on. So you have made the human body, the skeleton, you have attached the muscles on it. You have supplied the arteries and veins. Now they are touching the artery. Veins are draining from the muscles. And blood you have constructed filled with them. But now we require a pressure for it. A pressure is required for forcing the blood into the arteries and coming out through the veins. So you have to make the heart also. So you can make the heart from the same. Now we'll take the same cells and we construct the
cardiac muscles.
Yes. What is specialty? They contains intercalated discs. They are also involuntary. They are also supplied by the sympathetic and parasympathetic system. But they are following the all and none law. Because they are connected to the intercalated. So it is a special type of this muscles, smooth muscles or the involuntary muscles in the human body. Why it is called? Because this is the first tissue to start working in the intrauterine life till death. No relaxation throughout the life. So that is the novelty or what is the new thing about the cardiac muscles. So now the cardiac muscles are in your hand. You can construct the right atrium, left atrium, anything you can shape it. You can make the walls tricuspid, bicuspid, and attach to them with the inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, and the big pipe. That is the aorta. Because whenever the constructor will make your house, first he will make the bricks, walls, then he will fit the pipes for electric and for water. Same you have done. You are also making the human body, like the construction is making the house. Both are similar, but the raw material is different. So you have constructed the heart and you fit the heart into the thorax. That is how we make the heart. So it is constructed. Now heart start working. Now all the muscles they are working, and there is a movement of the human body. But such a human body, with all the supplies, the nerve supplying it, the artery supplying it doesn't look good. It's all naked. Now you have to cover it. So you have to cover these muscles and the bones. And what is the raw material? Now you have to cover it with the deep fascia from head to toe. And what is the construction of the deep fascia? Is made up of compact bundles of the collagen fiber. That is the definition of deep fascia. Compact bundle of collagen fibers. Collagen fibers, we have got so many fibers are there. No problem. So the apron you are wearing and coat I am wearing, they are made up of It is like the deep fascia. It is opaque. Why it is opaque? Because the muscle fiber, the collagen fiber, they are compactly arranged. There is a minimal intercellular space. So, from the same collagen fibers, you have made the thick sheet of the deep fascia. Now cover is the human body from head to toe. All bones, artery, veins, and everything, and the muscle, they are all hidden now. It's not visible. Now it looks good because they are not exposed. But still, it is a horrible look. White sheet. At midnight at your hostel, somebody is standing in outside your door. So it is horrible. So we have to cover it. Because we are seeing in the human body that there are certain hollows are present. And we have to cover it, and we have to make a smoothly, a streamlined body. So streamlined body is only possible when we cover the hollows or the depressions in the human body here and there, because it is standing, and the bones in the lower part of the foot, they are touching the hard floor, and with the prolonged standing it will be painful. So what we will make? Sole of the foot, so that the person can stand for hours together and there should be no any pain. So what we will do? What is the packing material? Yellow color fat. So we will take the fat. We want a requirement of the fat because it is very much, for example, the female in the breast. And all you are sitting because of fat present in your pelvis. So we want a lot of fat to streamline and smoothen the body, to give the shape of the body to proper. So we will take the same human cell and we pour into the cytoplasm fatty acids. Oleic acid, stearic acid. Biochemistry people will talk. So what are these acids? What are the glycerides present in the fatty lip? So the same human cell is now called a fat cell because its nucleus is replaced and goes to the sun at the periphery, and whole of the cytoplasm is filled with the rich fatty acids. Now it is a fat cell, so it is a human living cell. It also requires the artery to supply and vein to drain. Every living cell is the same arrangement. Artery has to come, vein has to bring the CO2 blood out. So we have got a heap of the slippery yellow color fat, and we stick at the breast, stick at the gluteal region or in the pelvis. We'll put near the shoulder where there are chances of the friction while we are walking, and we put some fat in the sole of the foot. A thick pad of the fat lies in the sole of the foot, so it will become a weight bearing. So depending upon the requirement, we put the fat there. And this fat, whenever it is present, we can't shift it right or left or anywhere. Then we put the buccal pad of fat in the baby also. So this fat has to be fixed in the anatomical position. How it is fixed? Otherwise it is a very slippery tissue. If you go like this, it will go here. But it is fixed in the anatomical position. Why? Because above this fat, what we have put? Collagen fibers, the threads. To keep the fat in their anatomical position in every inch of the body. We can't shift the fat anywhere. It is present where it is present because there is a fixation because of the collagen fibers or the threads over it. So what these collagen fibers? They are called the loose areolar tissue. The composition of the superfascia. So we are constructing, we are putting the yellow color fat here and there in the human body and fixing with the threads over them, making it anatomical fixing position. That is called the loose areolar tissue, made up of elastic and collagen fibers. So we require them for the fixation of the fat. So we have done it. Now it doesn't look good. Yellow color here and there. Plus it contains cutaneous artery, veins and nerves. Because fat, I have told you, fat is also a living tissue. It requires artery, veins and nerves to drain. So we have taken the same artery and veins from the deeper part, as we have put the deep fascia. We have covered the human body, and below the deep fascia we have put the yellow color patch. So it is not giving the shape to the human body, but it is also a for thermoregulation, you know. It is a bad conductor of heat, so it protects in the winter and the summer also. And because of its living nature, so it has to be supplied by the arteries. But these arteries, they are very, very thin. They are called the capillaries. They have to be gone to the superficial fascia. So because of the thinness or thread-like or thinner than your hair, that is called the, what is the word you are using? Cutaneous. Cutaneous means cutis. Cutis means skin. They are pertaining to the skin because they lie just below the skin in the superficial fascia. They are supplying the fat, which we have put. And the lymphatics. What are the lymphatics? Lymphatics, they are the sweepers of our body. So in the plus 1 and plus 2, you have learned that the lymphatics, they are the lymphocytes, B lymphocyte, T lymphocytes. Only that much you know, I think. But there is a full lymphatic system in the human body from head to toe. And they are like the vacuum cleaner. And they are like the blind tubes having many, many holes in it. Like the nozzle of the vacuum cleaner, you put anywhere, it will suck every dirty material. Same is the lymphatic doing in our body. Like artery and veins, lymphatics, they are also spreading from head to toe in each and every tissue of the body except 3 regions. Number 1, epidermis of the skin. It is absent. Number 2, bones. Number 3, brain. Otherwise, everywhere there is a lymphatic system. You have to remember 3 regions which do not require lymphatics. Because every day so many human cells, they die. They have to be cleared from the tissues of the body. Otherwise, they will make the human body sick, morbid, disease prone or diseased. As you clean your room every day, if you are not cleaning your room 1 day or 2 days, 3 days, you won't enter in your own room on 4th day because it is raw, foul smelling. It is dirty. Same with human cells. Each and every day human body is cleaned by the lymphatics. So there is a full-fledged lymphatic system, like the vacuum cleaning. So like the blind tubes goes and they will suck every dirty and dead cells. So many bacteria, they are entering into our body every day. Right now they are entering into our nose and they are going in. So whole of this air is full of spores of bacteria, viruses, dust particles, carbon, so many things. So who will protecting it? Why our body is disease free? Only because of the full-fledged lymphatic system. It collects and gathers every dirty things and every disease-causing organism entering into our body every day, and it will destroy it. Because these lymphatics or blind tubes, they are attached with the dustbins, like the vacuum cleaner. And what are these dustbins? They are called the lymph nodes. These thread-like lymphatics, they are attached with the dustbins, they are called the lymph nodes. And these lymph nodes, they are full with the, what they are containing, composition is they are made up of macrophages. And what is the property? Phagocytosis. So that is how our body remains disease free. So that is the construction of the human body. We require this. So we have covered the yellow color fat with the thin capillary red color arteries, veins, and the white color lymphatics, because the lymph is the whitish fluid. So we have constructed, the white lines are there. Now it doesn't look good. So we have to cover it finally with the first layer of the human body, that is the
Skin.
and we know skin consists of two parts. If you are a medical student, outer is epidermis and deep is. So now we want to make the skin. We have to cover the human body from head to toe because it doesn't look good. So we have to make epidermis. What is epidermis actually? It is made up of how many layers? 5 layers we require. We want 5 sheets covering the human body from head to toe. Then the skin will be formed because we want to make the epidermis. So we require 4 small sheets, thin sheets, flat sheets of the squamous cells. Because they are made up of, histology will tell you what is the composition. Stratum, corneum, stratum, so 5 layers. Stratum LPGI, stratum basale, stratum spongiosum, granulosum, then lucidum and stratum corneum. You should know all the names of these 5 layers, which is number 3, which is 4, which is, that is the viva, we will ask you in the anatomy. So that is the anatomy subject. Skin doesn't mean the skin, epidermis and dermis. Skin means epidermis and dermis, and when you talk about the epidermis means you have to know each and every layer of 5 layers you have to name. Then you get the mass in the fiber. So that is the anatomy section. So we have to go into the depth of everything. Just skin is not the 4 words till now. Now onward, you know the every detail. What is the epidermis? What is the dermis? The histology people will tell you what is the dermis layer, what is the epidermis with the 5 layers, the dead layers. Every day you take bath and you remove them. And the lower one is the pigmented layer. Color of the skin is depending upon the stratum basale or the malpighi. Below the dermis, deep layer containing the nerve endings, cutaneous arteries, cutaneous veins, and lymphatics. And it comes with the hair follicles. Hair is also a human cell. And what is the function of the hair? Thermoregulation. During winter, they become straight. And during summer, they become oblique. Because in the summer, when in the winter becomes, they have the pockets of air, which is the air conditioning. You know already what is the function of the hair in the human body. So we have constructed the human body with all the 5 layers. And now, human body is standing in front of you. You have made it. So that is the basics you should know about the anatomy. Now we will go into the details next time.